Hello, hello. So, first of all,
Well, hello.
how do we refer to you?
I'm Luke. So you can just call me by that if that's all set.
Yep, that works. So, let's see here. I'm entering Luke. Is it okay to tag you in the BIGMODE server?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Luke. Okay, and then I'm gonna also tag you in Boneyard.
Wonderful.
Also welcome.
And I guess same goes for you. How should I address you?
I go by Bonejack. It's short for Bone Jacqueline, and I'm a they them. But
Perfect.
yeah. Let's see here. Stream. Luke. There we go. And there's always something that I forget here. I think I'm streaming my screen, aren't I? Yes. So I've given you a
Yes.
stream to what my screen is, so that you have more direct access to what I'm doing in real time.
Perfect.
And I've changed the title of my stream. Yep. And right, I need to pin your game to the top. So play, gun, knife. There's a lot of stuff to consider, so it's always I always forget something.
Sure.
You have a start screen to linger on.
Yes, I do.
All right. Go ahead and close. Close the Lorman test, and I believe I downloaded it if it has a download. Indeed, I did. Okay.
Perfect.
Here it is. Windows Project my PC. You don't gotta do that. Let me think. Oh, it started on the wrong window. Okay, there is no full screen toggle, so I must instead drag my window down here and open it, I hope.
Yeah, apologies. That was a very last
No.
minute thing that we were trying to get working, but
Oh my goodness, it's not going to the right window. That's annoying. This is the only game so far that hasn't gone to the right window.
oh, interesting.
How do I do this? Do I want to switch around my fucking monitors? Let me try it. Let me try it. I think it's like Windows Shift down. There it is.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect.
Awful. I hate Windows sometimes, man.
Oh man, you and me both.
Yeah. Alrighty, so let's see. Let me just triple check my mind for what else is to come here. Where is my... I swear I have more browser windows than that open. What the fuck? Okay. Alrighty. Okay. Yep. Tagged. Stream title. Pin title. Lingering. Oh. I put up next as Gun Knife Bomb. I caught it. I finally caught it all. I think. Now playing Gun Knife Bomb. Alright. So, hello, Luke. Nice to meet you. So, how did you decide to join the BIGMODE Jam?
Yeah, well, first of all, I just wanted to say thank you so much for having me. This is a great opportunity and very much a great community to be a part of, both yours personally and the BIGMODE Jam as a whole.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. So I run my own game studio, and we've been active for a bit over a year now, and we've been kind of deep in development of our own horror game. Again, like for a little bit more than a year at the moment. And we have basically just finished up the vertical slice for our game, and we were looking for a game jam to kind of start fresh and do something new at the moment and something quick. And so, just been a big fan of Donkey for a while, and so I knew about BIGMODE. And so just seeing the jam come up, I was like, oh, this seems like the perfect opportunity. It was the right window, like time frame. And so, yeah, it's me and two other people that worked on this project. And yeah, we were super excited. We learned a lot from it, and just really glad to be a part of this community because there's so many great games out there that got submitted and so many great developers like yourself.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I caught you in the comments of Moonlight Fire. So you said that your game was like a dark sort of story thing. So I was like, oh, cool. I could check that out.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, wait a second. blanking. What was it saying? Right. So you said you had two other developers. Are they available to join us or?
Not at the moment because we're an international team, and so like one of my team members is in Japan actually at the moment, and so it's very very late for her.
Right.
So I think it's just me at the moment, but I can definitely talk on their behalf.
Okay. Yeah. It's not typical that I get the entire team usually. There's always somebody who slips through the cracks. So.
Gotcha.
Although I have interviewed full teams before, and that's also pretty fun and hectic and everything.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
I bet. Yeah.
So you sort of were just like looking for a thing to just get the wheels greased while you were working on something else. Was it just on like itch.io? Did you just like browse the jam pages and then find the BIGMODE one?
I'm trying to remember actually how it came about. I've been aware of the BIGMODE game jam because again, like I've watched a lot of like Donkey's videos, and that's included the past previous jams, and so just it was in the back of my mind of that is a game jam that I'm currently like aware of. We were actively looking for game jams. Originally, we were considering the global game jam, which I've done a lot in the past, but it was, it's normally 48 hours, which I think was a little too short of a time frame for us for what we wanted to potentially like create. And so BIGMODE, again, was just like perfect time frame of we knew it was upcoming, and it was just the right time for when we were finishing the vertical slice for our other project to just kind of start something else. So.
Gotcha. Okay, so once you entered the jam, the theme was slick. So how did you and your team explore the theme?
Yeah, so we're big fans of like Mike Kolobnica, who is the creator of Buckshot Roulette and Split, for example. We've played both of those games, and we take a lot of inspiration for the other projects we're currently working on. And so we were kind of in this mind frame of wanting to kind of do something that is kind of in his style and his narrative, which is kind of very heavily focused on like kind of this post-apocalyptic, in many cases, like 1984 style settings. And so we kind of took a spin on it, which was, what if we had this overarching like 1984 government branch that is called SLIC, which is the. Let me make sure I'm actually getting the acronym correct, because it was funny. We were like, okay, we know we want it to be SLIC for what the government branch is called, and it's the Silent Lethal Internal Covert Killers, which is like a secret military branch of the government that is not publicly known. It's kind of like conspiracy theory kind of esque style of narrative kind of going on, and so that was the main premise. Was there's the secret government branch that you are being initiated into, and the game that we created was like the in-world final, I guess like ritual you could say, to get actually initiated into the branch. And so it's like this deadly game of rock paper scissors.
Gotcha. Like a secret branch of the U.S. government.
It's not explicitly stated, like if it has anything to do with the real world. This is, I think, definitely. We're not trying to make any political statements, but I think we took a lot of inspiration, from a lot of real world stories and stuff like that. So yeah.
Because I was gonna say, like, the United States doesn't really have to be very secret about it. We just normally just.
Yeah, I mean, you got that right. So.
Yeah. So you wanted to do sort of like an MK Ultra style CIA thing, like.
Yeah, that's actually something we've talked about in the past of wanting to do, like a MK Ultra. Yeah, like that. Like government like conspiracy theory stuff has always been an interest of ours to make like a game out of, and so this again like felt like the perfect opportunity to kind of dip our toes into it of what it could actually look like.
Yeah, you picked a hell of a time to do conspiracy theory stuff, I think.
Yeah, we're being relevant, very timely, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you got into it with Moonlight Fire, but Moonlight Fire also is a very pointed political narrative.
Yeah, very very beautiful. I gotta say, and very poignant.
Maybe. So yeah, so you saw Slick, you wanted to do sort of like a covert ops thing, and so did you have to do much iteration? How much did you explore the gameplay of Slickness?
Yeah, I think the gameplay elements of slickness come in a couple folds. One just being, I think, like general polish, which from what I've seen, a lot of developers have kind of treated the slick aspect as, where it is just a very polished animation, sound effects, visuals as a whole. Like it feels slick to play through. And then ours is also kind of like a strategy game a little bit, and there's kind of mind games involved, even though you're playing against AI, which I can talk about of what I would like to see out of a full game, where the slickness could be involved in mind games in a potential multiplayer aspect. But there is enough randomness in the game to make it feel like both players have a chance, but there's also enough strategy where the player can definitely have an edge if they kind of know what they're doing and strategize enough. And I think just that feeling of knowing that you outplayed your opponent, and there's like a slickness aspect to that.
Okay. And so you said that you had three people and that you already you work at a pre-existing game studio. Like all of you at the same time?
Yes. So it was me and my co-founder who originally started the company. We're called xCathedraGames.
Mm-hmm.
We're making a horror title called House of Saturn. It is like an amnesia-inspired, like first-person survival game with the story that's been inspired by Faith, the Unholy Trinity, if you've heard of that horror game, which is like a exorcist kind of going around uncovering like a secret cult and kind of taking it down. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. And then the third member of our team for the game jam came onto the actual studio a bit later, but we've been working together for some time now, and it's been going really well.
That's awesome. And yeah, that's interesting. Actually, a fun fact. So one of my friends was about to visit me from out of town, and he was kind of like being a bit vague about why he was doing it. It turns out it's because he was trying to take down a cult as well.
Oh, well, there you go.
And he actually did manage to do that, apparently. I saw the newspaper article
Wow.
about it.
Oh my goodness. Well,
Yeah.
I'd have to interview them then.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing. He didn't actually end up staying at my house though. He just kind of like found some other arrangement, which is fine. He had a lot of stuff to do, as it were.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. So how much time were you able to dedicate all between you?
So we basically just took a break from our main game and just focused all of our time on that. So a couple, like at least two of us were pulling like multiple like 10-hour days, like per the jam. Like we spent all of our time on it, and it was one of those things where it's like I can't sleep knowing that there's this bug that I know how to fix, so I'm just gonna wake up and fix it. So yeah, we spent a vast majority of our time working on this, and man, we've learned a lot from doing that. So yeah, it was like a full work days throughout the entire jam, I would say.
Awesome. Yeah. So you said that you learned a lot. So what kind of things do you have to tackle? What kind of things did you have to really expand your horizons on with this game?
Yeah, I think the two biggest things that I learned from this, I did all of like the programming and whatnot for this game. So like a majority of the Unity aspect of the project was me, and so like the settings is like not something I've really considered much when it comes to game development, because I was just most of my previous projects have just been kind of like get it out the door, but we kind of wanted to polish this one a bit more as we were wrapping it up and putting it out for release. And so just something as simple as like the master mixer, like learning how to use that and how simple but effective it is like in Unity was like mind blowing to me, of like, wow, you can just change the volume of the sound effects and the volume of the music independently. That like blew my mind, like be able to figure that out, because I've never really looked into that before. So it's just like minor technical things like that I really learned, just having to deal with aspects of the game development that I've never really had to tackle before. And then I also had a debugger for the game, because again, it is very like random, and so forcing things to happen in the game saved me so much time, and it made me realize how valuable a in-game debugger was for this game, and will be for any future games we work on. So I would say those two things, and then just like version control. We were really tight on version control for this project, so I was really happy with how that went. We barely had any merge conflicts or anything like that, and anytime we did, it was very easily resolved. So overall development just went super smooth, and I was very happy about that.
That's awesome. Yeah, debugging has been something that I've come to appreciate a lot. Like,
yeah, for sure.
I tried to make my own debugging tools leading up to this jam, actually, and I ended up not using them. And it's not because I don't think it would have been useful. It's just like I had to work really, really fast and really, really hard to get it out.
Yeah.
So, you know, going at it meticulously and making sure that the code was all tidied up and everything was less of a priority. I just needed to get out the door. Because I knew that I had like sort of a big scope to accomplish.
Yeah.
But with things with things like audio buses and stuff, like that is something like game developers have to be such like jack of all trades. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
There's always something that's like a sticking point. Like for me, it's menus. For this jam, we did a lot of audio processing. So in Moonlight Fire, for instance, like when you snap or when you dash. There's a side chain that actually ducks all the audio around the sound of what your action is.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Like, there's so much stuff that you can do with audio. So it's like
oh, for sure.
So for you to expand on your own understanding of that is like you know, a really cool tool in your belt. Although sometimes it's like you learn a new skill and then you just like I don't know. It takes regular use for it to be internalized, I think, even if you power through for a jam. So
for sure.
So you would say that you learned a lot in terms of those kinds of logistical problems. And how about your other team members? Do you think that they expanded their horizons as well?
Yeah, definitely. I think there was just a lot of like art related things that were like new, like color banding, getting that to work, understanding how that functions. Just like a good overall color palette. I think we really nailed it, and I'm really happy with kind of how it looks. And so that was probably like kind of the biggest things, is just really like wrapping up the visuals. Oh, and optimization for these things as well too. Like we kept the build, I think, relatively small, which I'm pretty happy about. So and then just like naming conventions, and yeah, again, like just keeping the project very orderly. I think we did a really good job. Like our main project that we've been working on is definitely much more messy in comparison. So I would say, yeah, good naming conventions, good version control. Like that, I think we all learned a lot about that.
Yeah, it's easy to have like an organizational nightmare. I really for this jam, I tried to do folder organization better and to have better conventions for doing the pipeline from Blender to like final product. So yeah, the organizational stuff will get you. Like, have you played Skate Story?
Yeah. We played that as a team, actually. I really like Skate Story.
Oh yeah. My server has a games club now, so it's like we try to section off a month to play a single game, and then come together and talk about it at the end. So we played Skate Story like for January, and right at the end when Sam Eng starts going meta with it and then shows you the Unity window, you can see like how chaotic the organization is, right?
Yeah.
And for that, I think I wrote a whole analysis. There's a whole thread on it in the Games Club channel if you ever want to check that out. But I wrote my analysis about how the ending is probably actually Sam like expressing his frustration with taking so long with his project, and that like when he says that he hates skateboarding, he's actually referring to game development. Because in the level with the false sun, there's actually writing on the walls. You assume that it's like the same texture as the Wall of Sins, but it's actually like a very long venting poem about how like the madness of game development has consumed him and how long it has taken. So
yeah.
So when you finally get to see how like brutal and messy the process is near the end of the game, and then it reduces him to a slug, like maybe he's on his board, maybe he's like reduced to basically like you know, like invalid, but he still does it. He still finishes the game, even if it doesn't make any sense, even if it's all thrown out the window by the end. And so like the chaos and messiness of a project, it's just like it's the actual topic of at least one video game, you know. I think.
Absolutely. Yeah, I feel like developers really share camaraderie in that. It's very interesting to hear other developers' perspectives, even like bigger ones. Like David Szymanski, who has done Iron Lung and whatnot. He has his own YouTube channel, and so he uploaded this really funny video of him going through Butcher's Creek, which is another one of his games, and like through Unity and whatnot. And the whole time he was just complaining how horrible like the project files were and
Yeah.
organization and all that, and just like looking through his stuff, and I'm like, dude, I can relate so much. So it's good to know that like everyone across the board kind of like has very similar experiences, and there's again like a sense of camaraderie in knowing that.
Yeah, especially when you like find a solution that works, and then you can hopefully learn from each other and stuff. Because I spent so
Yes,
much time
definitely.
poring over proper naming and file conventions, and like what people do to make their singletons like cleaner and whatever, like all sorts of material like that, and then I had to come up with my own solution for it. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that you were able to make more stringent your own standards. Also on the topic of like color banding and stuff, I did notice that for the shader. So if it weren't for this CRT shader, I would have imagined that this could have been like a pre-render. Like it looks very like much like a pre-rendered background, like with this normal map here and then the color banding and everything. Or not the CRT, the chromatic aberration. Or not for the chromatic
Right.
aberration, I would have assumed that it was meant to be like a pre-rendered background.
Hmm.
So that's all sort of there. So
Thank you. Yeah.
what were the final few days like for your team?
Um, so we had a production schedule that I put together that I think we, for the most part, like really stuck to. Like we wanted to be feature complete by Tuesday. We wanted to be content complete by Wednesday. Thursday, we wanted to have the build that we were testing. And then Friday basically be done. And then Saturday, just like any sort of like marketing, uploading and stuff like that. And I would say for the most part, we stuck to that. Like we hit all of our milestones for those things, but we, bugs kept popping up like one by one that I spent a lot of time on like Friday and Saturday, like testing the game, like with actual builds and whatnot. It was like a lot of minor things kept kind of popping up. And then also something that I, in retrospect, wish I kind of considered more earlier is just the Fatui and like tutorial and whatnot, because we got a lot of comments that because it's like a strategy game and there's a lot of like moving pieces and like what they do and how they affect one another in the game. I think it was kind of a little bit difficult for people to grasp some of the rules, and so I wish I spent more time on that in the latter days, because again, like we saved it for like towards the end. It was like Thursday, like, yeah, we gotta up our tutorial, we gotta up our Fatui. It's just, I don't think it's going to be enough for people, because we obviously had like the tribal knowledge of like, well, we know how to play the game, so everyone else should be able to figure it out. So we didn't really consider it too much until like kind of close to the end, and I wish I pulled that back earlier. But a lot of that was at the end, is just kind of scrambling to get any sense of like Fatui and instructions into the game.
Right. So what do you actually mean by Fatui? I've never heard that term.
First time user experience.
First time user experience Fatui. I see.
Yeah, I actually used to work in the games industry, and that's kind of where I learned some of the lingo like that. So
Okay. Yeah, that works. I guess normally I would have heard that as like onboarding or like tutorialization and stuff like that.
yeah, there's a couple different terminology for it, but
Right.
I guess that's what I've known and used for a while now.
Yeah. Okay, well, good to know. So yeah, what was your communication like with your team?
It was all through Discord, and we also had a Confluence page, or a Confluence space, where I put all our design documents, as well as our schedule. We used Trello for all of our tasks, and that was mostly it. Again, it was like Unity, GitHub, Trello, and Confluence for all of the programs that we ended up using for the project. I would say the most difficult aspect of it was just the timing of things, of when people were able to meet, because again, we're an international team with one of our members from Japan, which is complete opposite like time frame as us in the US. So I was able to meet with like one of our team members in the US in the morning, and then we were all able to meet as a full team like at night, our time, which would be like her morning. So that was probably the most difficult aspect of it, but everyone was able to make the times work that we agreed on. So I was very thankful and blessed for that.
Right. Actually, what were your roles again?
So I was the engineer and the designer. One of my other teammates was the audio lead, as well as um, like the VFX and just like overall art lead. And then our third member was like the UI UX and like lead modeler
Which one was
as
the
well.
one in Japan?
Our modeler and UX lead.
Okay, okay. So, right, the one that came on later, I would imagine.
Yes.
Gotcha, gotcha. Awesome. Okay, so yeah, mostly keeping up through Discord. That's pretty common here, yeah. Right. So now, how are the final hours of the jam?
They weren't that stressful. Like we submitted 4 hours or it was 2 to 4 hours. I don't remember exactly before the actual submission time frame. And we were, again, like we were feature complete. We were, at least from what I remember, there was no outstanding bugs that, at least when I was testing. There is unfortunately one bug that is actually pretty important that ended up making it through that I just didn't recognize, unfortunately. But I would say everything else um, is kind of like exceeded our expectations on what we were hoping for. So we were very happy with how it ended up. And yeah, the last few hours we weren't really stressing. It was just getting a lot of minor things fixed, very tedious things. And so yeah, we were very happy with how it turned out, at least like for the most part. And we got in basically everything we wanted to. So yeah.
Awesome. Looks like you submitted well before the deadline. Did you end up utilizing the deadline extension?
No.
Yeah, yeah. Looks like you're on top of it then. Um, so actually, this cover art, the first thing that I thought about was, I actually, my mind went to Grim Fandango pretty quick.
Oh, well, that's great. If you've seen my profile picture on Discord, I'm a big fan. So
Yeah. So when you joined and then I saw the Grim Fandango thing, I was like, okay, that makes sense. uh, so what kind of inspirations went into your game then?
yeah, there was a lot. Obviously, I think Buckshot Roulette was easily our number one source of inspiration. We knew kind of going into the jam that we were really hoping we would be able to do something that fits that genre of game. And so once we realized the theme, we found a way to make it work pretty easily. So very happy with that. I would say outside of that, obviously, other things in a similar genre like Clover Pit, another gambling horror game that's done very well. Their art style was a big source of inspiration for us. And then the design of the enemy. There's a game called The Salesman, which one of my friends kind of worked on. And the design of the main antagonist in that game was a big source of inspiration of like big grin and like masked face, elsewise like the eyes and whatnot you can't really see, and so we really liked that silhouette and theme. So yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay. So let me go ahead and start reading your page. How does your game represent Slick? You're a candidate for the elite military branch known as the Silent Lethal Internal Covert Killers, Slick, and this game is the final step in your initiation. The art, interaction, sound effects, and animations were all designed to feel as slick as possible. Okay. Play rock, paper, scissors with deadly weapons to be initiated into the elite military branch known as Slick. Gun beats knife, knife beats bomb, bomb beats gun. Okay. Each weapon has 3 lives. When you lose with a weapon, it loses a life. Lose 3 lives on any of your weapons and you lose the game. Take 3 lives on an opponent's weapon and win. The scoreboard represents the lives of each weapon. The enemy is on top and yours on bottom in order of gun, knife, bomb. Use W and S to cycle between looking at the enemy's board in the center of the table and your board. Hover over modifiers on either side of the board, see what they do. Click modifiers to use them for the round. Click the buttons to select your weapon, and click the lever to lock in your choices. Now that I'm seeing the footage of the game, I must ask, did you perhaps also play Inscription?
Oh yes, I guess that's another point. Yeah, Daniel Mullins is definitely also a big inspiration.
Yeah.
Definitely can't forget him. Yes.
Of course, of course, of course. So, yeah, let me think here. Okay, okay. Does this game have controller support?
I don't think so.
Damn it.
Yes, sorry about that. It should just be basic keyboard and mouse
right.
support at the moment.
Well, my little creature here is actually completely controlled by my controller as a puppet, so I guess I must
Oh,
I
interesting.
must leave it to its own devices now. I normally use a non-QWERTY keyboard, so I have to break out my normal QWERTY keyboard.
Oh, fun. Do you use Colmac or what do you use?
My keyboard is. I'm actually kind of on the cutting edge of like mechanical keyboard shenanigans.
Ooh.
So I use a split.
Yeah.
I use a split mechanical keyboard right here. It has no legends because
Oh, wow.
it wouldn't make sense to have legends because the keys do all sorts of fucked up shit. But all of the new alpha keys are in 3x4 blocks right here, and then these studded keys that I put studs on have Q on this one and Z on the other one. So it's a bespoke nameless layout that's optimized for split mechanical keyboards.
That is very cutting edge. Very cool.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, so I forget the controls already, damn it. Let me have that open at least so I can remember. W and S cycle between looking at your board. Is it arrow keys to, let's see.
It's just W and S. Definitely a little bit of an oversight to not get arrow keys in, but again,
Wait,
hindsight 2020.
I can't select anything. Oh, I have to click, okay. Your physical development is complete and your conditioning is satisfactory. Press enter to continue. Let me just make sure that the audio isn't going above negative 35 decibels. It is currently hovering at about negative 25. I don't know if this is actually in any conventions or anything, but negative 35 seems to do me well. There we go.
Oh, interesting.
Press enter to continue. All that is left is to assess your luck. Let us begin your slick appointment trial. My luck is pretty cursed. My friends refer to it as rubber banding luck. Sometimes I'll have like the worst luck imaginable, and then it shoots forward into the most ridiculously good luck is imaginable. So let's hope.
Oh, will they?
Prospective operative, welcome to the gun knife bomb, or to gun knife bomb. The final step towards initiation is the silent lethal internal cover killers. Slick. Your initiation requires winning 3 matches of gun knife bomb in a row. Lose 1 match and you will be terminated. Matches will last until the lives of 1 weapon reaches 0. Good luck. Consider each option and select with the corresponding button. You'll need to look at the buttons to use them. Sport? Why are you calling me sport, man? Okay.
Hidden lore, maybe? I don't know.
Okay, I'm looking. Wait, do I have to click? Okay, wait.
Yes.
Excellent. This choice will mark the first round of your practice game. Do you accept feedback?
Yes. Yeah, very much so.
So, W and S are on the left side of the keyboard, Enter is on the right side of the keyboard, and yet I must use my mouse. So it's
yes,
like,
good.
I have to have octopus arms, you know?
Yeah.
As somebody who's like spec'd so hard into ergonomic keyboards is like on my mind a lot, but luckily my mouse actually has Enter mapped to the back key, so I can very easily click, and I will be able to use both hands without moving much. Successfully.
That's a very good note, though.
Yeah, successfully take 3 lives from one of my weapons to complete your practice game. After that, we'll make the games worthy of a true slick operative. Just lever on your left to lock in your choice. Okay. Yeah, it's gotta be a knife. Oh, a tie. Fellow knife user, I see. Alright.
Yeah, we had some funny comments of like, man, this guy kept spamming knife, you know, real bombers, just like thumbs down. Interesting if people like gravitate towards one option or another.
Of course. Well, when a knife will not cut it, it'll have to be gun. Obliterated. There he is. So I noticed that the model was like shifting a little bit weird up there. Do you know about the geometry of the model?
I know that's not exactly in my wheelhouse. I know the biggest thing is the mouth is disconnected from the model itself, so it's like in front
Yeah.
of the model. So I know the angling of that when he kind of rotates his head definitely could look a little strange. But outside of that, I don't have a lot of knowledge on how that works. But
Gotcha. Did you have to do much iteration for the characters that would be present in the game?
not particularly. Again, like we liked the silhouette as it exists at the moment, and it was also something where it's like we had a lot of other things on our plate. So once it looked good, we're like, all right, perfect, moving on.
Gotcha. Very good. All right. So it looks like the gun works that time. Why not escalate to bomb?
My favorite thing is you can spam the lever and it won't
Oh.
like break the game or anything. It'll do the animation and the sound. It's like my little like stim toy while I'm playing the game.
I see. All right. Bomb again. Let's go. Ah, you got me. All right. Have you happened to have watched Kaiji?
No, I don't think I have.
I believe that's a death game about rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, well, I'll definitely have to watch that now.
I haven't watched it yet, but damn. I brought a knife to a gunfight.
I do know Squid Game, the rock paper scissors -1. We also looked into that.
Oh, hello, Noom Stuff. I believe we talked about having you on at some point. I don't quite remember what your project is though, so you'll have to remind me. Also, that Redemption doesn't do anything at the moment, I'm sorry. Let's see. Alright, bomb. The only language the United States understands. Damn it. They got me. Construct. Wait a second, that's true. Yeah, they're the construct of. Yippee. Well, for anybody just joining us, we're developers for the BIGMODE 2026 Game Jam. We had 10 days to make a game with the theme of Slick. I am Bonejack, the developer of Moonlight Fire. I'm joined here with Luke, the developer of Gun Knife Bomb. So, how much playtesting did you do?
Admittedly, definitely not as much as I would have liked to have done. Again, it was like definitely towards more the latter half of the week. I think balance-wise, for the most part, at least maybe outside of the tutorial, we're very happy with how it turned out. In fact, actually, I made a change in how the tutorial works to hopefully swing it a little bit more in the player's favor. We'll kind of see how that goes here, but after losing the tutorial 3 times in a row myself, I was like, there's got to be a way to make this a bit easier for the player. So I found a pretty good solution that I feel like I'm happy with, that kind of obfuscates the advantage for the player while also kind of keeping the rules exactly the same. So
Okay. So, how much mind games did you put into the AI?
the AI chooses completely randomly.
Oh my god.
And that goes for the actual game as well. The only rule outside of that is when the modifiers appear, which hopefully you'll be able to get to after the tutorial, is that they need to select at least 1 per round if they have any available, and they can select up to as many as they want. But yeah, it's and testing that, I could tell of like they're playing completely randomly and I'm playing, as smart as I can, and I feel like I'm still winning, which shows that it's not just 100% luck related. So I again, very happy with the fact of there is an element of luck to it, but there is also a level of strategy, I would think, at least for my own testing.
I win. Now the real game begins. Here are your modifiers. These are the ones you can choose from for the next 2 rounds. After 2 rounds, the pool refreshes. You can use them all now to get an edge, but you'll have none left to use next round. Whatever your decision, click on them to select them and use the lever to log in your decision. Okay. Gun deals 2. Replace gun for the round, beats knife and bomb. Replaces bomb for the round, beats gun and knife. Poison coating, knife deals 2. How many rounds are there?
Like one round is just like of playing the rock paper scissors. So everything is like a single use at the moment.
Gotcha. Also, hello, Mathcon. Yes. Mathcon is is a developer on Double Skaten Tugan Infiltration, I think it's called. And Pigeon Guy here is the developer of Car Wash Calamity.
Oh, I loved Car Wash Calamity. So that was a lot of fun. So, very cool.
Magna Remora is also a musician on an Elephant game and Cycle Shifter. But all of us are previous alumni from the BIGMODE Jam from the previous 2 years. So, yeah.
Very cool, very cool.
What do I want? Well, you see, if you want to have a state in the modern world, you have to have nukes.
Gotta have them.
Especially if you're a U.S. U.S. adversary. How do I select it?
Yeah, so this is probably the part that if we had more time, we definitely would have made it more robust. But it's you click on it and it will hover a little bit to indicate it. I know it's kind of difficult to see, but that's probably the biggest thing that I wish we spent a bit more time on as well, is to clarify it. But if you click on it once, it selects it. And then if you click on it again, it will deselect it.
Okay, so just say
like now you have it selected. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, a little hard to see, but yeah, so a fix that will definitely come in the future.
Do I hit the lever now? American picking nukes? No, listen. The thing is, I'm against the U.S. Empire. I need nukes, or else they will just come in and obliterate me with like a some kind of radical cell that they've radicalized. So there we go. Let's see here. I don't want to be Gaddafi'd, you know. Let's see here. Let's go gun. I'm a sleeper agent. Maybe. Let's see. Oh, that was just a round. Why didn't I use the nuke then? Damn. Well, now I don't have nukes. Gun deals 2. Let's go poison. Here you go, buddy. Oh my god. What? What was that? Did I lose? Did we both lose?
Oh, you won. You chose the knife and he chose the bomb. So.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, sometimes the bomb kind of looks like the knife.
Yeah, I would say that's the other thing is some of the things, like definitely further away, are a bit harder to see. So adding some clarity with that.
Right. Machete replaces knife with round, beats bomb and gun. Looks like you have a lot of modifiers.
Yeah, we actually had more planned, but it was like we didn't have enough time to test them to see if they were balanced, so I actually cut them.
So what kind of things were those?
They were like fairly simple things, like heal 1 life, or the other thing that I wanted to test more to see how that would have worked is like disabling an opponent's choice for the round. Like a silencer would disable the opponent's gun for the round. So if they chose like the SMG, like they would have wasted that, because if the other player chose the silencer, because it would have removed that option entirely. So there is some level of mind games involved in that, but I wanted to see how balanced something like that would be before actually pushing it.
Okay. Also, do you have any assets that got cut that you still have laying around to show us? I like to give the opportunity to show off stuff that literally nobody would see unless given the opportunity.
That's a good point. Yeah, I think still in our project are the assets for the other choices that were out there. I think like we had a magazine which would have like healed the gun for 1. We had a whetstone which would have healed the knife for 1. And I think we had like extra wires or something like that for the bomb. We were kind of stretched a little thin on like ideas that would actually thematically fit the world, but we were able to at least get like a couple things in.
Okay.
So I can look into our project files and possibly send them at some point. Yeah.
Oh, we've got the nuke. Let's go. Alright, we're nuking him, boys. Yippee-ki-yay. Wait. Damn,
So
we
he
tied.
also chose the bomb.
Yeah.
So
yeah, damn.
bomb and nuke tie. The decision behind that was if the upgraded version beats its own base version, then it would beat everything. So like the brass knuckles would be useless, and it would just be way too overpowered if it beat everything.
Of course, of course.
So
get fucked. Let's go. Yeah, he's fine. It was just a tiny nuke. You know?
no big deal.
Just a small uptick on the Geiger counter. Gun deals 2. So gun beats knife. And yeah, why not? Why not? Oh shit. He's also got a nuke. What the hell? That's not fair. Only I get
the branch
nukes.
has lots of resources to pull from, I guess. They're very well funded by the government.
Of course, of course. Okay, I'll start role-playing as America now. Hey, that's not fair. Why do you get nukes? I'm only supposed to have the nuke. Let's see. Replace the gun for the round, beats knife and bomb. Yeah, let's go for it.
So I don't know if you've noticed, or I don't know if you've been doing it. I didn't really pay attention, but you can select multiple if you'd like. So if you wanted to select like SMG and hollow points, and then you'd have like a double advantage on the gun, for example.
Right. No, I haven't been doing that. Let's see. Knife deals 2, gun deals 2. Well, picking both of these would be silly. Let's add 500 more nukes to the table to protect ourselves, of course. Yeah, of course. Mutually assured destruction, baby. I played Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, I know how it goes. Yeah. Alright, I'm no longer American. Die, American dog. Damn it. Wait, what?
That was the bomb again.
Yes.
I think maybe like changing the angle of having the bomb on the side, and then you can see on the top right one of the lights lit up, showing that you indicating that you won the game. So now you just have to win 2 more.
Oh yeah. All right. So let me think here. So were there any problems that you were spinning your wheels on? Something that just should have worked but didn't?
There wasn't necessarily anything design-wise that we were worried about that was again didn't work as intended, except there is one bug that unfortunately I think has confused some people on how the logic of the game works, because there's the base weapons, which is the gun, knife, bomb, and then what we consider to be the super weapons, which is the SMG, machete, and nuke, which follow the same core logic as the rest of the weapons, which is the upgraded versions will all counter each other normally. So the SMG should beat the machete should beat the nuke, and the nuke should beat the SMG. There is, I think, one bug where the SMG beats the nuke, though, and so I think that's caused a bit of confusion of how the logic of the game actually works. But I think outside of that, again, like the logic is pretty sound. Like brass knuckles causes a tie, but if both players choose brass knuckles, then they cancel each other out.
Yeah, it makes sense. And if you had another day, how do you think the game would change?
Definitely more research into kind of explaining the game, tutorial, and then just like visual feedback to have people understand better like what is selected, what's being used, just visual identity. Again, like as you mentioned, like sometimes it's hard to tell like what's what, and that kind of confuses where the logic of the game kind of comes into. So I think fundamentally the game is pretty solid in its logic. It's just communicating how the logic works to players is something we want to invest more time into.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah, for instance, like with a knife, the way that you swing it kind of looks like you're hitting yourself. And especially when the screen gets all bloody, I'm just like, wait, did I lose?
Yes, I think that's also something we could work on. The person who did the animations, it was like their first time doing any sort of animation work whatsoever. So
Gotcha.
I think all things considered, we did the best we could, at least in the time frame we had.
Oh yeah, no, everything looks great. Even the animations, it's just like there's just slight tweaks you could make, you know?
Right, for sure.
Okay.
Just like every project, I'm sure there's always things where in retrospect of like, I wish we could do this, or I wish I had more time to do that.
Right. Yeah, on that topic, how different do you think the final product ended up being from your original vision?
Honestly, it's almost exactly the way we had it to begin with. Like our initial game design document didn't change like at all. And yeah, like our art style was exactly the way we wanted it to be. Yeah, the logic of the game, the narrative was pretty consistent all throughout. So I would say, all things considered, yeah, everything went exactly the way we wanted it to, outside of just a couple things we wish we improved upon to, again, like make communication better. But the core of the game, the atmosphere, the narrative, and whatnot, it all turned out exactly the way we wanted it to. And I really contribute a lot of that to the fact that we were, again, very we ran a really tight ship for the jam with our like version control, with our debugger and all that stuff. We had
Nice.
more time than we would have elsewise to get everything the way we wanted it to.
Awesome. Yeah, sounds like it was mostly smooth sailing. Let's see.
Yeah, I would very much say so.
Okay. So I've pretty solidly trounced this guy so far.
Yes.
Let's see. Let's go machete, sure.
And I think that's the nice thing is, again, like he's playing completely random, so it shows there's some level of strategy to it, considering you're like kicking his butt now at this point.
Yeah. I was gonna say, if you really wanted to be mean, you could make the AI play mind games with you, because it's like, if you're down
Yeah.
to like 1 on this, then obviously you're not gonna want to pick that weapon. But you could take the risk and do it anyway.
I would be very interested to see what like mind games actually looks like in this. Like one thing we're possibly considering, if we were to do this kind of as a long-term project, is to get multiplayer working,
Yeah,
to see how like 2 people actually engage in the mechanics and the kind of like the betting and bluffing aspect of it too. So like, would it be solved enough if somebody actually took the time to really consider their best options? But I think the jury is still out until we actually test that.
Right. So on that topic, do you plan on working on it more?
I definitely think so, because a majority of the game is basically done, I would say, which is a huge accomplishment for us. Like it's really just like, again, polish, better communication, tutorial, all that good stuff. And then adding modifiers, and then hopefully adding multiplayer, maybe a bit more of a narrative, cutscenes, things like that. But the core concept of the game, I think, is fairly solid. And I don't think there's a whole lot that needs to be changed about that. So I would really love to hopefully put this on Steam
Nice.
someday, hopefully soon. So we'll
Yeah, I
kind of
agree.
see about that.
The game
Thank you.
the game looks very polished, and I think there's something here. I think personally, I would multiplayer would be great. Benefiting from a narrative, that'd be good.
Yeah,
because you did
we
set
had
it up with a narrative, so
yeah, and like I would say that maybe that's like one thing that we also just didn't have time to get to, that we would have liked, is like cutscenes and a bit further explanation through actions, as opposed to just like big blocks of text like we have in the beginning. Like we originally envisioned like the player having to scan a badge to go through like a secret door or something along the lines of that, to indicate that they're going into this challenge, and they're a member of the slick and whatnot. Like we made an insignia for the branch, but we didn't really get to use that all that much as we wanted to. So yeah, definitely developing the narrative is something that we would really love to work on and expand.
right. Do you have any ideas for that?
Yeah, I think again, just maybe some backstory about the player, where they're from, like kind of got into the situation, how the actual branch operates, the motives behind the enemy. For example, like we wanted to give them maybe a bit more dialogue, fleshing out like who they are and how they think and operate. Because the main narrative, I think, was something along the lines of that the person you're playing against is an operative already in Slick, and it is kind of something that is a recurring what's the word I'm looking for? A trial that people already in the branch have to go through again to maintain their status, to still be in Slick. Of like, it's a very rigorous branch, and so if you're not fit for it, then you shouldn't be involved. And so they kind of put you back into the game. And I think there is kind of the members have this kind of like twisted mentality of they actually enjoy it. Like the fact that they've won already, like kind of gives them this high, this like thrill, this rush of I'm worthy to be part of the branch. And so they want to prove themselves again, like over and over by, putting on the game for new recruits and showing, their power over them by beating them.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, almost like a hierarchical dynamic. Oh damn, I died. Here we go again. Alright, toxic nuke time. Yeah, just like what am I thinking? I think I did watch a little bit of Kaiji, but yeah, it's sort of a Squid Game-esque death game scenario with rock, paper, scissors. I hear that one of the rock, paper, scissors fights takes like half the series, which is ridiculous because it's rock, paper, scissors. But yeah, there's a lot of intrigue and stories like that. I'm already on the back foot. Damn. Get him. Yippee.
Yeah, I'd also just be interested in general to see like how people develop their strategy for the mind games. Because like for this example, like your bomb is at 1, so you probably should never pick bomb, because if you lose one more time, then you'll die. But your opponent obviously knows that, so are they going to counter, knowing that you're probably either going to at that point then pick gun or knife? Like, but then that they know that, so it's kind of this like back and forth of who knows what and what's the optimal way to play. With both players having the same amount of information.
So my roommate has what he calls the rock solid strategy, rock, paper, scissors, and it's just picking rock no matter what.
Always pick rock, yeah.
But the thing is, the fact that he says that always puts the idea in the other person's head that he might be fucking with them.
Yeah.
So he almost always wins, actually. He's got a very rock solid win streak, you could say. But see, hey, that's my strat too. Yeah, of course. Hello, Hero Protag. Hero Protag. Fuck. Aren't you the developer of the button pressing game? I believe that's the case. Press the button dev. Ethan Tucker. Is that right? But what the hell was I saying? Right. So yeah. It's just confusing because yeah, you go by multiple names. So, but yeah, I hope to internalize that and also have you on maybe. But yeah, the rock solid strategy. My strategy with him is the paper thin strategy. I just simply acknowledge that he's telling the truth. I'm just like, well, you told me, so I'll believe you. And he's never won a game against me.
One of my favorite industry stories is Ben Brode, who's like one of the lead founders, designers of like Hearthstone. He used to partake in underground rock, paper, scissors tournaments, and people would kind of like have this like almost WWE kind of esque like hype to it, and people would kind of create their own characters.
Yeah.
And yeah, people would have different strategies. He was saying that like some people would be like scream or like say rock over and over again to their opponent to try to like get into their head and stuff like that. And so that's so interesting. Like a game of that is, basically that is just essentially an entire game of chance. People are still trying to find ways to kind of modify it in their own favor. So, and play mind games with it, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah. It's not no strategy, but It's just that the stakes are so much higher because there's such a wide, yeah, let's go.
Nice.
There's such a wide variety of, or not a wide variety, there's like a very thin margin of success, let's say. It's basically a coin flip. It's a coin flip with a chance of a tie. So
Right.
yeah, it's a fun concept. Place a sniper for the round, beats bomb, gun, knife, bomb. I need to beat bomb. I'll go machete. Damn it. Oh well. He's really holding on to that bomb. But I could go for a gun. Gun so soon?
Yeah, gun is a pretty safe bet. You have 3 lives. He only has 2.
Damn it.
Well, maybe he knew that.
Perhaps. But yeah, so have you sent this to your friends or family? Do they know about it?
A limited amount. And then just again, like I also have like a good amount of like industry connections, and I'm part of like groups. I actually know Ethan Tucker, like,
Oh, nice.
so I've sent it to like, yeah, I've sent it to like family and friends. Like we have actually a server of people I know that are like doing indie stuff, and like we have an accountability monthly meeting and stuff like that. So, and people send in their progress and like what they're working on. So yeah, I have a good support group for projects like this, which is really nice.
That's awesome. And your family, are they like tapped into your game development?
Yeah. So I'm married, and my wife is not a gamer to any extent, but I think that's kind of like a nice thing, is that somebody who, if you were to put this in front of somebody who doesn't really know games all that well, would they still be able to pick it up? And if the answer is yes, that's a really good sign. And so I think putting it in front of people like that is just as important as putting it in front of people who do games or are into games, like getting kind of the whole stretch of people in their walks of life to kind of see where things land. So yeah, I have again like a good variety of people who are gamers, non-gamers, and whatnot. So having them be able to play is super valuable.
Right. Yeah, I don't remember who made the video, but somebody made a video about like what people who play video games take for granted in the design space. So he made his like girlfriend play a bunch of video games, and she has never picked up a video game in her life or whatever. It's just like small things like knowing that the right stick controls the camera, or like usually the jump button is on A or whatever. Yeah, things like that. So really fascinating. It's cool to get like outer perspectives like that.
Oh, for sure.
Also, I've just realized that if you pick any super weapon and the brass knuckles, it's an auto win.
Yeah, that's assuming they don't do the same.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess assuming they don't do the same. Replace the gun for the round, beats nice bomb. So
Actually, that's not necessarily true, because if they also pick a super that would normally beat your super, they would still win. So if you pick a machete and the brass knuckles, and they pick the SMG would still win.
Okay. How does that work?
As the supers still kind of counter each other in a normal way.
Yeah.
So gun beats knife, beats bomb, beats gun, in the same way that SMG beats machete, beats nuke, beats SMG.
Yeah, I suppose.
The supers just mostly affect the base versions.
Right. Damn. They got me. Let's see.
Ooh, down to 1 on the knife.
Yeah, I'm indeed down on the knife. Beats knife and bomb. Wins all ties. So if they pick a super weapon, this beats knife. That would not be a tie, because that overrides the knife. So if they pick the nuke, then I'm fucked.
If they pick the nuke, I think your best option would be machete, because machete normally beats nuke.
is my knife, though? Well, yeah, see it. Maybe. Okay. Well, I'm pretty solidly on the back foot. Let's see what we got to work with. They've got hollow points and a nuke. So if they beat my knife, I'm cooked. Ugh. He's got a knife. So if I tie with the bomb, then I'm kind of fine. I think I'll do that. Actually, wait. SMG counters the nuke, right? Or...
The nuke normally counters the SMG because of the triangular logic, but I think again there's a bug where I think the SMG actually beats the nuke even though it shouldn't. So you could use that to you could maybe use that to your advantage here.
All right, see it. We gotta see some silly shenanigans here. Oh, you lied to me.
Oh.
How could you?
Well, it only works the other way around, so or I've only seen it work the other way around, so maybe that's it.
I was deceived. Developer whispering in my ear.
That's another good test case I'll have to mark then. Only happens for opponent. How nice.
It's the toxic waste. Deals 2. If they use the gun. Okay,
and you can always select multiple, so you could do the toxic waste, the poison coating, and the brass knuckles, for example.
Yeah, I could, but why would I? I can only pick one thing.
That's true.
Toxic
Guess
waste.
it depends on what they pick, right?
Good. If they use a bomb.
Yeah.
They only have the machete for that. If I use bomb, this beats bomb. If they use the machete, then... So wait. Okay, I can't click theirs, but I do get to hover over it, and it does say that... It does tell me as if I selected it.
Yes. Yeah. It's another bug to note.
Gotcha. Ah. Fine. Let's go bomb. Yippee! I think that means I win. Hooray.
Nice job.
Yeah. So what do you think your
That's like the fun strategy of it is if you're at 2 and they have the coating or the like the +1 damage, then that puts you in a very dangerous situation.
Yeah, for sure. What would you say is your favorite thing about this game?
Yeah, I think again just like the sound logic of it, where it feels like there's a really good balance, all things considered, of luck versus strategy, which I didn't really know how well that would work, because it was just a theory of, okay, if you just expand it even a little bit, to have like super weapons and whatnot, like would that work? Would that completely throw off any sense of balance? Like, is there going to be an obvious choice that completely trumps no matter what the other player does every single round? I would say that, again, just like getting the core game design kind of working to the level that it has been super good. And then again, just the level of polish I think we got to with like visuals and audio and whatnot, I was really happy with, considering it was like, what, 9 days or something like that. We went from nothing to having a clear visual identity, I feel like, for the game.
Right, yeah. Yeah, about 10 days. Let's see. Okay. Machete, beats bomb a gun, poison coating. We've been at a stalemate this whole time. we're like 2 rounds in. Is the guy a 3D model that's textured with black minus teeth? Yeah, we were talking earlier, the 3D model has a mouth floating in front of it. I would imagine that everything is just black texture, right? Doesn't look like
yes.
Doesn't look like it's unshaded though. It just looks like it, because there's like some speckles here and there.
Yeah, take my thoughts on it with a grain of salt. I was the one who did the character, and I again am very limited on my art knowledge, but from my understanding, I think that is correct.
Nice. Okay, very good. Okay. So once again, it sounds like you had pretty smooth sailing, and you seem pretty professional about it.
Thank you.
But did
I would also like to say I contribute a lot of this to the fact that we had some assets that we had clear licensing over that we were able to use for some of this, so we didn't have to model everything ourselves. There's still a good amount of it, but like most of the modifiers, for example, were Creative Commons license.
Okay.
So
yeah. But I mean, like, did you have to? It doesn't sound like you had to do many or any, as far as I'm aware, duct tape solutions or anything.
not really.
Nice.
Everything went over very well. I think that the thing that I spent the longest on that was such a simple fix was the rotation of the panels, as there was a lot of like Euler related rotation that was I was trying that just like wasn't working, and then just went to local rotation instead, which just completely fixed everything. So
There you go.
it's like I wish I tried that solution a lot earlier, but yeah, again, like I was able to solve basically everything that I ran into, that at least I had knowledge on what was an issue.
Yeah, see, that's the kind of stuff that I'm looking for. Because rotations, like, quaternions scare the fuck out of me. I have no idea how they work at all.
Oh yeah, I hate that. I hate it so much.
Yeah, it just seems like so arcane, and I don't understand it. Also,
Oh, absolutely. I don't. Yeah.
Euler just it just makes sense. Except for apparently gimbal lock. I don't know how that works really, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Unknife bomb. If I do this.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think you're in a really good position with that.
Oh, oops. Apparently not.
Got the better of you.
Yeah. They got me.
Well, we'll just do it again.
Round 2.
Round 2.
Yippee.
There you go. I think that should be that's game.
Oh, you actually dropped that time.
Nice job.
Oh, what is this?
Little hat.
I know.
Indicating you've made it.
Here it is. Knife bomb, engineering design lead, Luke Piazza. Art audio lead, Jasmine Sumpter. Machete, Gerardo Justel. New grenade, Tryon Dumbrava. Cross knuckles for Poly, Ruslan Koshe. Poison Eric. Toxic barrel. Jesus Fernandez Garcia. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff in here.
Yeah, so a lot of these like actually didn't even make it into it. Like the magazine again is just kind of like a behind the scenes thing. So there's a couple things I think that are in here that we just included just to be safe, but didn't actually end up making it into the final build. But that's the game. Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm glad that you were able to beat it. That's nice to hear. Nice to see.
It's only a matter of time, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, but that's really cool. Yeah, definitely glad to have you on. So do you have any other like funny stories? Any shout outs you want to do? Things like that?
Any funny stories? That's a good question. I think just in general, yeah, shout out to my team. Yeah, it was 3 of us. One person was omitted in the jam just for their own personal privacy reasons. They wanted to be, but all things considered, everybody put in like such a large amount of work into this project to kind of get it to where it is today. And yeah, it was just the 3 of us, and so we're really happy with what we accomplished, and we definitely can't wait to do a bit more with this because it was a lot of fun to work on, and I think there's still a lot of potential as to what it could be and what experiences we can kind of make from it. So I'm really happy with it, and yeah, just wanted to say thank you so much for having me on. Looks like you have a really great community and just really also thankful to be part of the BIGMODE Game Jam community as well. Everyone's really put in a lot of great submissions. I've reviewed almost 60 of them now, I think, at this point. So yeah, everyone, it's very inspiring to see what other people are making as well, too. So definitely can't wait to see who you interview next.
Yeah. Actually, up next we have Polycube with Construct.
Perfect. Well, I will tune in. Can't wait.
Awesome. Right, so once again, we're developers for the BIGMODE 2026 Jam. We had 10 days to make a game with the theme of Slick. I'm here with developer Luke with their game Gun Knife Bomb, and I'm Bonejack, the developer of Moonlight Fire. Yeah, we met in the comments of Moonlight Fire, so that was cool. I'll be rating and commenting, although you've already done so for mine, so I guess I don't have to tell you, you don't have to do that, but yeah, it was great meeting you, Luke. I hope to see you around, if not in the Boneyard, just, out in the jam space.
Thank you very much. Same goes to you. All right, well, have a good one. Thank you.